Hello and welcome to another World Cup edition of the Dream Team Professor podcast. Today is a match day recap where we just go over all the top point scorers and key talking points from today's games and then do a quick preview of tomorrow's fixtures. So we'll start with Belgium versus Croatia, and this 0-0 draw sent Belgium crashing out of the tournament. It was the star man was Courtois, but doesn't really matter anymore because he will be out of the tournament. So 13 points for him, and he's actually been one of the better players for Belgium so far this tournament, but it has been really disappointing for them overall. Kevin De Bruyne, he only managed 3 points in this game. I felt a bit sorry for him as well, to be honest, because he's been fairly good throughout the tournament, but there's only so much he can do on his own. I think it pretty much summed it up at the start of the game. He played a really good through ball to Mertens, and he just absolutely skied it over the bar. And then you saw it towards the end of the game as well. So you had Lukaku, he came on as a sub. But he must have missed about 2 or 3 sitters, hit the post as well. But De Bruyne had put in so many good chances, and there was just no one to put him away all tournament. So yeah, I feel a bit sorry for him, but yeah, that's Belgium done for. You had Modric. He did manage to get 3 points in this game, and it looked like he was going to score a penalty as well. He'd sort of set up to take it. He was giving Courtois the eyes. Obviously, they both play for Real Madrid as well, don't they? So we're trying to figure out who might save it or who might score it, and all of a sudden it got reversed by VAR. It was probably a correct decision, but it took so long to even show that it was being checked, so that was quite strange. But Croatia are through, and they'll now face Japan, which is quite surprising as well. So we'll go on to them in a minute. But Croatia face Japan, and overall, really, they've not been overly impressive throughout this group stage, but they're a really experienced team, and they always seem to get it done. They've only conceded 1 goal so far in the group stages, and they've got 2 clean sheets. So if you are going to target any Croatia players, it looks like the defenders will be the best ones to go for. But again, I mean, that Japan game does look good, but you can't see them going that much further than that. Then we'll go on to Canada versus Morocco, and Morocco have been really impressive this tournament. So they finished top of the group now. En-Nesyri, he got star man, 13 points. And yeah, Morocco have gone through as group winners, but they've unfortunately facing Spain, which feels a bit harsh, winning your group and then getting a tie that's as difficult as that. But then either way, we were expecting it to be either Spain or Germany initially, so I'm sure they're just happy to go through to the next round. Ziyech scored a really quite a good goal. It was a big mistake from the keeper of Canada, but still a really good finish. And then I've noted down as well Hakimi. He got an assist, and he's actually the joint second highest scoring defender in the game. So he's been a really good pick if you started with him in your side. But Canada do go out, and they finished with no points in the group, so quite disappointing for them. Then on to one of 2 really exciting games of the evening, Costa Rica versus Germany. It finished 4-2 to Germany, but it really wasn't as straightforward as the scoreline makes out. You had Musiala got the star man in this game, a huge 9 rating, but only 8 points. He really deserved more than that, to be honest. He hit a post twice, I think it was, and he completely ran the game. I hadn't really had a chance to watch him previously, only in the last game that they played, but he's been brilliant. I'd seen his stats and stuff going into the World Cup, but he really did impress me. Shame we're not going to get to see him again. But Gnabry, he got a goal and an assist, and I brought him into a couple of teams. My logic was I brought in Gnabry and I brought in Raum, not in my vlog team that you're going to see later, but in a couple other sides. And my logic for this was really that Germany could potentially finish second, and then they could end up playing Morocco, who had qualified as first, which is quite a favourable game for a knockout game. But we obviously went on to see that it didn't work out as simple as that. So yeah, disappointing there. But you had Raum, so he was 3 million. He got an assist for Gnabry goal. Gnabry got an assist himself. Leroy Sané got an assist. And Fulkrug, who was 2.5 million, he didn't start this game, come off the bench, but he got a goal and an assist. And we mentioned this morning that he could have been a good option at 2.5 million. I kind of thought he was going to start after that goal against Spain as well, but it wasn't to be. But he came on and delivered. And then Kai Havertz got 2 goals in this game off the bench as well. So quite a good return attack-wise for the German players, but if you did bring them in, you're going to have to take them out again now they've been eliminated. So quite disappointing in general, but I guess the points won't hurt completely. And then Costa Rica are eliminated as well, but they did put up quite a good fight. It was all Germany in the first half, but Costa Rica did sort of give Germany some stuff to worry about actually in that second half. But yeah, all in all, Germany did finish level on points with Spain, but just Spain's goal difference was much better. That 7-0 win they got against Costa Rica has got on to be really vital in that. Then we had Japan versus Spain, which finished 2-1 to Japan. Another big shock. So Japan have actually topped the group now, which is pretty crazy. With wins against Spain and Germany, you would never have predicted that. Star man was Tanaka. He got 13 points. And then Doan scored again. He was the player that scored against, I'm not sure if it was the winner, one of the 2 goals. He scored against Germany. And then you had Matoma, who plays for Brighton. He got an assist in this game. There was an Ito assist. And then Morata, he got started up front. So I was a little bit disappointed with that because I've got Asensio in my team. But Morata went on to score in this game. And that was his 3rd goal of the tournament. So he's doing pretty all right, actually. And then Azpilicueta, who started at right back, he got an assist, 7.3 rating as well. So 4 points. He got the 1 minus for conceding 2. But yeah, overall, not many points for those Spain players. Only Azpilicueta in the defence and only Morata from the midfield or forwards. So quite a low scoring game all round for the Spanish team. A little bit of rotation, but not a ton. They still had Olmo started, Morata started, Ferran Torres and Asensio were the main people left on the bench, and Jordi Alba, but he did come on as a sub. A bit disappointing if you've got him because he finished with a -1. But yeah, just a crazy group all round really. So Japan win the group, Spain go for it second. Japan will now face Croatia and Spain will be facing Morocco. If you're enjoying the video so far, please do click that subscribe button. I'm going to be doing these videos the whole way through the tournament and that will keep you more up to date with the videos that I'm putting out. Then on to tomorrow's fixtures. Then we're going to do a fixture preview. So we've got Korea versus Portugal, Ghana versus Uruguay, Cameroon versus Brazil, and Serbia versus Switzerland. So we'll start with Portugal. In that top right corner, I've got the predicted lineup from who scored and just got the group table currently at the bottom. So Portugal versus South Korea. Who scored are not predicting that there's going to be much rotation from Portugal, even though they are already through. So this is the lineup. They think it's going to be Costa in goal, Cancelo, Pepe, Diaz, Guerrero, Carvalho, Neves, Silva, Bruno Fernandes at like number 10, and then you've got Cristiano Ronaldo and João Felix up front. So there might be a little bit of rotation there, but that's what who scored are predicting the lineup will look like. I still think Bruno Fernandes is by far the best option. I think he's on 2 goals, 2 assists now, including that one the Ronaldo tried to pinch off of him. But yeah, Bruno is I think he's joint top point scorer at the minute with 29 points and only 4.5 million. He's been really good value. But Ronaldo will be desperate to grab some more goals in this tournament in this last game. So expect him to start. He's only currently on 1 goal. So hopefully he'll be looking to add to his tally in this one. And I've put down that Portugal will be likely to face Serbia or Switzerland in the next round. It could possibly be Cameroon as well. Just depends how the other games go tomorrow. But yeah, fairly favourable next fixture in the knockout stages. And then I've just highlighted Guerrero as well. So he's 3.5 million and the cheapest looking option from that predicted lineup in the defence. He did get an assist in the last game as well. So probably the cheapest option if you did want to target that clean sheet. Or if you're going forward, I'd probably just say Bruno Fernandes or Ronaldo are the best options. Then we've got Uruguay versus Ghana. And quite honestly, I think I'd avoid this game. Uruguay, I had quite high hopes for them going into the tournament, but they've been really disappointing so far. They're sitting in 4th now, bottom of the group with 1 point, joint with South Korea. But just none of their players have really delivered. Darwin Núñez has not really done anything. They're playing Cavani now up front instead of Luis Suarez. Valverde's been okay, and Bentancur I've actually been quite impressed with, to be honest. I can put my Spurs, Arsenal bias behind me just while the World Cup's on. But I do think he's looked really good, to be honest. But he can't do it on his own, and those forwards haven't really been producing. So personally, I would avoid this. If you really did want to take a punt on it, I would say Darwin Núñez. But for me, I just wouldn't touch this game. And obviously, it's not looking that likely. But if they do manage to get through, it's looking like they would probably go on to face Brazil as well. So really, it's not looking good for them. Then Brazil versus Cameroon. So Brazil topped the group with 6 points. They're already qualified. They'll probably still be looking to win this game, because if Switzerland get a win, it could get a little bit tight there. But Brazil have got 3 goals ahead of them in goal difference. But there's lots of rotation expected for Brazil going into this game. This is who scored's lineup. So they think Gabriel Jesus up front, Rafinha, Antony and Martinelli behind, Bruno Guimaraes, Casemiro in midfield, then Dani Alves, the ancient Dani Alves now, Marquinhos at centre-back with Bremer, and Alex Telles at left-back with Ederson in goal. This is only a predicted lineup from who scored, so it could be different, but they are showing that there's going to be likely a lot of rotation. So personally, I wouldn't look to bring in any of these players. I'd only look to bring in a player if I think that they're going to be a player that's going to be used for the knockouts as well. I wouldn't want to be wasting transfers. And I don't think any of the other options are that prolific that you would want to risk bringing them in for just one game and take a punt. Obviously, Jesus, Martinelli, Antony and Rafinha are all really good attacking options. But personally, I wouldn't look to bring him in. If I was going to, it'd probably be Gabriel Jesus at 5.5 or Martinelli at 3 million. Rafinha, he's one of the ones that has actually started quite a few games anyway. But personally, at 5, I think he's 5 million Rafinha. So I think that's too expensive for me to take a punt on. One thing I would look out for in the lineups though, if you did see that Marquinhos or one of the other defenders that you expect to start in the knockout stages as well is starting, that would be an exception. That would be someone that I would look to bring in, because I do think Brazil could go deep in this competition. Then we have Serbia versus Switzerland. I think this is going to be a really good game to watch, but again, not any players that I'm going to look to bring in. If I had to choose, I'd say Mitrovic probably is the most dangerous option. He looked back on it last game. He scored and hit the post, I think it was. So he was looking quite good. And then you got Zivkovic as well at 2 million. He's a midfielder and he got 2 assists in the last game. And if I was going to choose from Switzerland, it would probably be Shaqiri, because he's on all set pieces, or Mbolo as well, who's been quite a dangerous forward. He has only got the 1 goal, but he has looked fairly good. But personally, again, I wouldn't look to bring in any of these players. And I'll move on to my team update. So only 8 points for the day, and that was one of the transfers I brought in actually. So I made the one change. I brought in Musiala for Paqueta, and I just thought that it looked like Paqueta wasn't going to start the game tomorrow, and he has been getting rotated quite a lot recently. So I was happy to take him out for Musiala. But like I said earlier, I kind of did think that I could be bringing him in and they'd qualify in second and I could keep him for a little way in the tournament. But it wasn't to be. But 8 points for that transfer isn't terrible. It could have been worse. And then the other player that I had playing was Asensio, who finished with no points. But in total, that's 8 points for the day. I'm up to 189 points in total. It's not one of my best teams, but at the moment I'm still fairly happy with that, because I've got 18 transfers remaining. So I can set my team up quite nicely for the knockouts. And I've got 0.5 in the bank, and that was from moving the 4 million Paqueta down to Musiala, who was 3.5. But again, I'm going to have to take him out, so that's another transfer to use. But quite happy with the setup, like I said earlier yesterday. Got Noppert in goal, Trippier in defence, Ake centre-back, Shaw, Maguire, Musiala, Vinicius Jr., who I don't know if he's going to be starting tomorrow. Hopefully he can get some minutes. I had Asensio, who got no points today. He started on the bench. Messi, Cody Gakpo and Harry Kane. So looking at the team, I'm fairly happy with how it's set up. I mean, the Dutch players have got USA, which I think is a fairly good fixture. England, we'd expect hopefully to beat Senegal. Musiala, obviously, I've got to take out. If Vinicius Jr. gets to play, he's got Cameroon. Spain have got Morocco, so not a bad fixture. Hopefully Asensio will start, but Morata has looked good, so maybe he will get the nod now he's scored 3 goals. Messi has got Australia, which is a great fixture again. So it's looking fairly good set up for the at least a round of 16, and then I'll start to look to make my changes for the following fixtures. Like I mentioned, this isn't one of my top teams, but actually my top team at the minute has only just broke 200. That reached 206 today, but that's got 14 subs left. So it kind of just depends how much you think the transfers are worth. So I'm not too far off, 189 points in total, but I've got 18 points. And then I've got the team that's got 206 points, but 14 subs left. So not too much in it really. I think this team, by keeping these transfers behind, I should be able to set it up quite nicely for the knockout stages. And I'll probably be doing another video soon on just showing you how I am looking to target those games. That's everything for this episode, so thank you for watching, and if you do want to get more Sun Dream Team or Sun Dream Team World Cup content, please do like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, or if you're listening on Spotify, please do give us a follow on there. So we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.